Hi, my name is Janice and I am the founder and executive director of Adoptions Together. We focus on building families and keeping them strong. Family is the core, family is the glue that holds our society together. So I started Adoptions Together with the mission of welcoming every child who is in need of a family, regardless of their health, their race, or their age, or their life circumstances. We've settled about 6,000 children since we started. When I found my way to thinking more about FASD and the neurological differences, it was like a light bulb went off, and it was like, oh, we need to put this piece in. We find that in our population that the level of exposure is higher than the general population. Social workers play an incredibly important role in working with individuals and families who live with the effects of alcohol exposure during pregnancy. First of all, it's critically important for social workers to know about this. It's so important because if we don't understand what's behind the behavior, it makes it really hard to create an intervention that's going to work. Everybody's issues are slightly different. So there's no one prescription for dealing with this population. The job of the social worker is to understand the full spectrum of the condition, and then with each individual and each family system that we're working with, we've got to adapt and teach our adults to adapt to what our children need. When we don't understand, we think somebody's not trying, that they're not motivated, that they don't care, that they're lazy. We don't understand that we might be asking them to do something that is more complicated than their brain can manage. If we understand that often it's a can't versus a won't, and if we have somebody who's not, for instance, not showing up for their appointments, are they not showing up for their appointments because they're lazy? Or they're resistant, or are they not showing up for their appointment because they don't have the executive functioning to get themselves there? Is it, I can't, I can't, this brain won't let me do whatever it is that I'm trying to do. Our job as social workers is to hold the families. The parents have to hold the child, and if parents don't understand that their child's acting the way they do, because of what's happening in their brain, it's very easy to get frustrated and mad. And so the social worker's role in working with the family is critically important. One of my greatest learning experiences was having a family member of my own who lives with the condition. And there's nothing like lived experience to teach us what we don't know. You know, there was years I felt like I was carrying oxygen around with me, and that some days I'd have it turned up to like 80%, you know, just so I could breathe and make it through the moment. Other days I could just breathe the fresh air. For me, the most helpful thing was having social workers and professionals who could provide empathy, they could provide understanding. There was no judgment. You know, one of the gifts of understanding this one little area, brains that are impacted by alcohol, is it teaches us that all of our brains are different and that there's many different ways to create human connection. And so I feel like understanding the FASD spectrum has been a tremendous gift of expanding my ability to look at what's behind anybody's behavior. My recommendation for social workers is to look through the lens, a strength-based lens, and how we as social workers can support those families that we're working with. So when we get families and they come in and we can see the growth and see the change and see them emerge into developing some strengths, oh my goodness, it is so exciting. It is so exciting.